Hello everyone and welcome to the season of Highlander, Season 10 Highlander and ETF2L. I'm casting here with asadawarf and the game is already underway between SDCK and Budget Toucans here on King of the Hill Lakeside.
Yeah, it looks like Super Dickman's getting the best of this first fight. Half the players on Budget Toucans are currently down and Super Dickman's just about to push over the point.
We saw Demeo there with a nice pick on Spelly with a Crits coming in here as we see Diver going forward and taking care of him on the point. And Crits is going to find a lot more as Demeo takes care of Eddie as well. The medic going down on both sides as Devato and V-Clocks are trying to take the point presence here. And it looks like that the first cap of the game is actually to go to the Budget Toucans.
Yeah, there was a really nice one from Dean jumping around the back of the pillar to get onto Peace, but it looks like Budget Toucans respawners who died early on mid came back and won that cap for them. Now they're just hovering behind the point and the medic's rolling out for Budget Toucans. Super Dickmans are now peeking through main.
Medigun has been switched back to on both sides here, equal percentages on both sides, as we're going to see Morty trying to walk forward here on the pool room side, trying to gain this area for his team, as it looks like Spelly wants to walk forward onto the point here. Maccy training spam on the right side now, as Burn gets an opening frag onto Morty. Maccy.
Dharma goes in for the bomb, he's on top of Peace and he takes down Peace! Two really nice rockets. But once that heavy went down for Budget Toucans, they really didn't stand a chance of stopping that bomb, and now it looks like Super Dickmans are cleaning up the rest of them and capping this point.
V-Clocks has found the entrance onto Enia though, but it does get taken care of quickly thanks to a nice snipe by Burn. And now, we'll see SDCK holding the point now. Are they going to look to go aggressive here?
Looks like it's Mayhew on the flank who's just being the most aggressive, just cleaning up Chef then, who was looking like he wanted to go for a bomb. Super Dickman's Budget Toucans are regrouping around main. Super Dickman's very aggressive on the right hand side of the map, pushed up, aggressive from pool, but Budget Toucans opting to go from the left hand side and outflank them.
We're seeing Demeo going behind here, trying to find the entrance here on the point, because we've got a huge Uber advantage, and the Uber does actually come in here. Looks like wanted to see Shaggy actually putting a lot of spam onto their med there, and look, we wanted to get aggressive with that Uber, but a good force there from the Budget Toucans.
Yeah, that really was the Shaggy show. He was the most aggressive player from the Budget Toucans behind that point, and it looked like it was purely him to got that Uber force. Very nicely done.
As we see Silver
Spelly goes down.
Getting the pick on a Spelly, that might be enough to trigger the push coming in here as Chef opens with a bomb here, trying to take care of the heavy on the left side of the point as Burn gets another pick on a Maccy. Maccy has not been a part of these pushes yet, as we're still going to see Budget Toucans trying to edge their way forward here. But Peace is keeping himself at safe distance, not want to open himself up for snipers as the Uber percentage is being creeped on again. Big bomb coming in here from Dimer as he gets the force onto Medic there.
Yeah, it looks like Budget Toucans were really baiting that flank in that push. The combo was very slow pushing up to the point, and it was mostly Chef, Silver and Cerno, the engineer, fighting that point, and this push really hasn't paid off for them. However, this battle is now 50-50 as Budget Toucans get the respawn advantage and he's standing behind the point.
Jelly actually one of the first forward as he's engaging this power on the right here. Doesn't want to get picked off here, but Garden Fungus will head back off here as the point goes into Budget Toucans' favour with 2 minutes left on the clock for them, 1 minute 16 SDCK's favour.
Budget Toucans now sitting behind this point. Let's see where Super Dickmans are at. Looks like they've opted to push up out of their tunnel and they brought their sniper with them. They should be able to get into this pool room without too much difficulty because Budget Toucans are powered passively behind the point.
Looks like SDCK will play around Burn here as he's got a very nice sight line here and he is trying to push Spelly up on the point as the crits has actually come out from then. With the way that they're building, they're actually going to get the crits before we're going to see Peace get his Uber, but it's going to be incredibly close here. Actually, it looks like he's going to get it himself
Burn gets
here.
A pick on Shaggy.
Ooh.
And Tomato goes down too, along with
And
V-Clocks.
he's incredibly low, and it's so low as we saw Tomato try to get the pick on him, but the crits is available for them. Medigun v crits here. It's going to be up to them to pop the Uber in response, and yet the Uber does come out here, trying to walk forward here with the toss part, but no frags really coming out on either side.
Yeah, Super Dickmans have got a better fight before the crits has popped and they killed a few of Budget Toucans players. Budget Toucans really just popping that Uber to hold on to the point for as long as possible, but it seemed inevitable that Super Dickmans were going to cap it, and Peace goes down in the fight as well.
Yeah, I believe Diamond managed to get a good bomb on him and managed to take him out, so now big crits advantage for SDCK as they take this point with a minute left. Pretty even on both sides, but we're actually going to see the Toucans wanting to re-push back in here, not giving up any ground lost.
Yeah, wonderful drive push there, but Burn taken out by V-Clocks the Pyro as Maccy crosses the point and starts capping by himself. being backed up now by the rest of his team. And the crit comes out, Super Dink Man. Spelly gets taken out. Air on 56 health, standing behind the point.
Peace does make it out of this engagement alive here as he tries to walk forward and keep his team healed, denying the cap.
Chef goes in for the bomb. He takes out Air.
As well as the dispenser pick. Huge picks there from Chef. And we're going to see Budget Toucans with a 50% advantage now.
And Diamond goes in for the bomb on top of Peace, but he gets taken out this time. But Peace goes down anyway.
Oh my goodness. Good kills there from Spelly.
Yeah, wow. Luck? Question mark?
Guarded very weak on the point here as V-Clock swells forward and takes him out. The counter cap coming in here as Clark tries to walk forward and deal this on his own. Manages to take care of both of them as Tomato manages to dead ringer from behind. Enia quite weak here as Tomato coming up on top of him. Doesn't manage to hit the shots as we'll see Enia still alive with that crit streak as the quick fix comes out here from Budget Toucans.
Right now what's really surprised me is the fact that Shaggy is bottom scorer. He's lauded as Budget Toucan's best player, but this really hasn't been his round so far.
Oh my god, this aggression coming out here from SDCK, walking forward to try and bounce it back, and wow, that's going to be a round for SDCK. Bit of a haywire round as we sort of got thrusted into it, but SDCK starting off strong with Burn leading the scoreboard for his team here.
Yeah, no team really figuring out how to hold on that point. There was a lot of point exchanges and a lot of med picks as well, especially coming from the soldiers.
Standard roll it here from both teams. We're going to see actually Shaggy coming up to the point a bit quicker, but no real damage coming out from either side. Yeah, as Burn opens with an opening frag down to the Blue Scout.
Budget Toucans opting not to push over the point yet. However, they have got slightly more control on the right side. Chef gets taken out along with Maccy. It's now 5-5 in favour of Budget.
It's the
Super
pick
Dickmans.
game right now for SDCK as Burn
got a 3K.
There, as well as we're seeing the Spies, man with no ears, getting a pick onto Chef on the left side over here as well. A lot of pull control coming in from SDCK as well at the start of that round. We didn't really see Budget Toucans really contesting that pull very well. But now they have a lot of aggression here, and they're walking a lot forward with the crits here. They want to get really aggressive here.
Yeah, they're being very confident pushing up onto this right-hand side. Looks like the crits... The crits has been popped. Budget Toucans have already retreated back into their main and going to their spawn. Spelly puts down some stickies, but he's not going to catch out anyone with those. Oh, and Chef comes into a bomb from behind, and he gets taken out by the combo.
They were trying to be really aggressive with that crits there, and it looks like Peace was close to maybe making a mistake, but the foresight did come in there, and they do manage to keep themselves safe with a good Uber advantage now, which of course going to be able to trump the crits. V-Clock's here catching out Dive on the side here. But Garden Fungus going down as well. A lot of picks being lost here from SDCK, and they won't even have to use this Uber to walk forward, and that's going to be a free point for Budget Toucans.
Yeah, that was really great by Budget Toucans. Meta got a pick on Burn, which meant Budget Toucans weren't afraid to just walk up behind that point, and Shaggy got a couple of kills. It's now going to reset with Budget Toucans defending the point with full Uber advantage. Burn taken out again by Tomato. Let's see how Super Dickmans break down this hold.
Gonna see actual Dimer trying to go in for a pick on the point there, but he gets out with his life as the Uber is securely in Toucan's favour. They're holding behind the obelisk here with Shaggy peeking forward and backwards. Chef's trying to get forward here onto the Spy here, but we're going to see Spelly starting to lead the charge in through main here. Oh, and he's so weak there from a sticky trap. Actually went down to 3 health. He's so weak in the corner. My goodness, that was close. Nearly died to a sticky trap there with that full crits. That would have sucked to have dropped in that fashion. Good work there from Shaggy watching the point there as Tomato gets the pick on Burn.
And then with health recovered means that they're going to push over the point. The crit's been popped and the Uber's been popped too. The Uber's been flashed about and Super Dickman's on the retreat behind their pool room. And they're on 82 health.
Fungus with a nice reflect there on the Chef as they're trying to walk forward and clean up these frags. Shaggy incredibly weak there, dying, and May making the clean up there. And, you know, Budget Toucans has lost almost their entire combo here.
It seems the Budget Toucans combo really got baited into being aggressive then. And they just couldn't back out in time. They all got picked off as they fell back towards their own point.
The SDCK pick up this point with 2 minutes left on the clock for them, and Macky's sort of left in here by the teleport. He's sort of on his own. If SDCK knew about this, they could collapse on him, but the ground here is still pretty secured over here, as we're going to see Chef lagging out pretty badly. As the man with no ears took him out with a headshot, as Tomato gets another pick on a Burn.
Budget Toucans have that crucial pick on Burn again, yeah, but it's Super Dickman's holding crits behind the point.
Yeah,
Super
Crits is ready.
And it comes out. Shaggy
Oh, Shaggy with some big pills there. Take it out in air mid crits. My goodness, those are some absolutely stellar pills there. Maybe that kind of work that you're more expecting from Shaggy as Jelly walks forward and cleans up May as well. Wow, it seems that a lot of these exchanges aren't really making or breaking these fights here. It seems to be what's going on before and after. These picks coming in even from just straight pills seem to be more than enough to just change the outcome of how these fights you'd expect them to go.
Yeah, definitely. The Uber charges just seems to be like a catalyst during these fights and letting teams move around in position. It really is these picks before and after that making all the difference today. Budget 2 is holding more aggressively than we've seen before. Oh, and Maccy gets headshot by Burn.
Burn uncontested here in main. Tomato no doubt going to want to try and go on him here.
Super Dickman's rolling up behind the pool room. Let's see if they can get any frags as they walk up to the point. They get Tomato and Maccy's still down. We're on 70% crit streak now and they're contesting the point.
I like this play to try and go aggressive before any Uber has been baited out yet, but they've got to be careful here because it's still crits versus Uber and they've got to know
goes for the bomb and piece.
Oh, the Uber does come in here. Trying to walk forward here. Oh, and the drop comes in. Shaggy getting the nice pick on the Eddie there. Oh, that's pretty much a perfect engagement there for the budget Toucans here. 30 seconds left on the clock and we're going to see Jelly maintaining a very strong position here behind the obelisk. What can SDCK do to try and break for this hold here?
Well, right now they really just need to focus on getting players behind that point. They've got 15 seconds left on the clock and the point is half capped. They're going to have to play this overtime a hell of a lot. They're walking up from main now with no fear. Budget Toucans holding passively behind the point. A lot of damage coming out on the left-hand side of the map for Super Dickmans. The heavy one's onto the point,
coming
450
in
health.
Oh, we're going to see SDCK walking forward and taking this ground. Big bomb here coming in from Diamond to try and make that space on the right. Point was actually capped.
Yeah, and Shaggy goes down too. Just like Budget Toucans just didn't want to get on the point and block that cap. They seem worried. They've got Uber now, and Super Dickman's going to have Uber in 10 more seconds or so.
Oh, but that's allowed Enya to get his Uber up as well. That's going to be Uber on both sides now, and even Uber exchange. And I think SDCK, despite the fact that their Ubers haven't gone exactly to plan here, I think they're making better use of the space than Budget Toucans are. But Budget Toucans are coming in here. They're taking their Uber quite early pop. Not a lot going on inside, as we'll see the Uber exchange coming in from SDCK as well. V-Clock's trying to break this up. He receives a flash. I'm going to see Maccy in from the side here. Gets cleaned up thanks to a bomb from Dimer, as well as some spam coming in from Spelly. Oh, and frags are going left, right, etc. But SDCK seem to be better off for this, unless the Jelly is cleaning up as well from some spam here. Chef coming in as well, putting in some spam in. It could be either side's fight right now. As we see Toucans actually with more of the ground on the point here.
Yeah, just like, and Toucans are going to be getting faster respawns than Super Dickmans as well, and that's really going to help them in this late fight. Maccy walking onto the point now, gets headshot, but the Toucans do it.
Maccy in that late fight there, actually coming in from that nice teleporter there, which Clark was able to, which Cherno was able to keep up from the side there. Strong teleport. Maccy was able to come in from the side of Paul and clean up that fight in the end there. Yeah, strong round from the Toucans, bringing it back 1-1.
Yeah, it's a really quality game so far. Again, not many defenses off the point. It seems Toucans are a lot more passive. Let's see how this mid-fight turns out.
You see Uber on both sides this time. We're not going to see any crits coming out from SDCK. I think we agree the crits strategy wasn't exactly panning out in their favour.
No, it really wasn't, and it's surprising. Budget Toucans been using the crit screen a lot in their scrims leading up to this week. This is new, them using the minigun. As Peace gets taken out, he gets killed by May from Super Dickmans. Oh, Budget Toucans are the most aggressive team, and V-Clox is getting onto Anir still on 120 health, hiding behind that dispenser. Shaggy gets really aggressive. He takes down Anir with a pipe just before getting taken out himself.
What a pill. I love the aggression from Toucans. They realised their medic went down early in the fight and they figured, you know what, screw it. Let's just try and get that med pick. And the aggression from V-Clox and Shaggy there, absolutely out of this world.
That really was super play from them. Pity they couldn't win this mid-fight, but they definitely made the most of that scenario.
It's a good consolation prize. No doubt as SDCK are going to wonder how they're going to color this hold here, as we see we're going to see Silver Tosspot trying to edge his way into pool room here. Pool room hasn't really been a focus for either of these fights here. We've seen mostly SDCK just sort of holding pool room passively, as the fight on the point is actually going to be the focus again as Maccy starts eating a lot of spam here.
It's the heavy versus heavy fight. Oh yeah, Maccy backing out. Very low health, hiding behind the point now.
As we see a big bomb coming in here, cleaning up on the frag diver. Oh, as Tomato comes in and cleans up with a backstab on a Spelly as well. That might be enough to signal the push coming in from Toucans. But we actually sees a man with no ears pressuring them back really hard for a spy.
Himself, yeah. Oh, he fakes V-Clocks into getting a headshot by Vern. And Peace gets taken out too. Oh, and we have a pause, it seems.
My goodness, this aggression coming in from SDCK. Dimer is not giving them any breathing room at all. He's jumping forward on absolutely anything and everything. Currently situated up here in the bats here. We'll see Maccy walking forward here with his fist of steel with Shaggy from behind. Looks like they might want to try and go forward and take a push there because their medic did actually go down. Peace went down in that exchange at some point. Don't think we really caught it, but it looks like they might want to try and equalize the advantages here.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely that the soldiers have been making a big difference, especially Dimer, who seems to be really intelligent with his bombing angles. He's often bombing around the back of the Budget Toucans pillar and getting behind and on top of the heavy before you can lock onto him and track him. But I think also Tomato from the Budget Toucans has been having a really good game. He's been getting picks on Burn, and he also just got a pick on Spelly as well. And he's got a high score too. So I think Tomato's having a really stellar game right now, and he's making a big difference for the Toucans, helping them break down these stalemates. The Super Thinkmans are on very aggressively. And otherwise beating them, yeah.
I think SDCK, as I said before, I think Toucans knows that SDCK they're making better use of the space that they have. They're really walking forward and taking any ground that aren't really being covered. I haven't really seen that kind of a sort of dominance over space, which Toucans are really trying to. They're not really holding it as aggressively as perhaps they could be. And SDCK are just abusing it to no end. They're bombing in their soldier non-stop, and even with the support players like the spies, man with no ears, they're just walking forward and they're making a lot of space for Burn here. And it seems to be the strategy for SDCK to just make space for Burn to let him do his thing. And Tomato recognizes this and he is just sitting on Burn almost the whole time, because it looks to me that Toucans are actually making better use after the fights, though. While they may not be taking the space efficiently as much as SDCK, they seem to be winning these post-Uber fights quite a lot just by generally playing around heals, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like whenever pieces are dying on pushes, the Budget Toucans seem to have the better pushes, but they seem to be really unable to defend this point. They have their combo very passive on one side of the map, and then their flank seems to be really fractured from their combo, aggressive in pool room, trying to fight the other team's combo by themselves. So it seems like, I agree about them not making good use of space at all. It just seems like it's either the flank or the combo getting aggressive from Budget Toucans. There's not really any sort of coordinated aggression. You never get 9 players playing aggressively together. Just snippets from certain players of aggression, which often leads to them dying before before they're even in a position to be able to defend the point from Super Thinkmans.
Indeed. Well, they haven't managed to get any cap time yet, Toucans, so the objective here will probably be to try and bring Uber advantages back in their favour. We've seen no changes of mediguns this round. It's still 1-1 either side. As we spoke about before with the crit strategy for SDCK, didn't really seem to pan out that much for them. They didn't really seem to, play the, the positioning or around the timers for the Ubers correctly. They never really seem to get that opening. These fights don't seem to be going on for long enough for them to get a good crits on an enemy that has stayed in long enough. But there doesn't really seem to be that much backing out over. It just seems to be a lot of fights going on over and over again around this midpoint, around the around these obelisks. The heavy fights going back and forth as the pause actually does come undone and we're back live in the game.
So Budget Toucans pushing up to the point and half of Superman's team's down. This is Budget Toucans' point to win. Garderfung is out over the point with 40 health. And is sitting behind it. Oh, but Budget Toucans happen to lose Jelly and Shaggy, their big 2 players for this push.
Chef went in for a bomb there to try and get rid of Enir's big Uber advantage, but he does end up getting taken out. As we're going to see Budget Toucans try to edge away a little bit forward, but they've got to be a bit careful, as this could end up being a wipe for them if they're not careful, especially because Peace is actually forward with the rest of his team as well. I don't know about Peace being with the rest of them here. This could spell a perfect Uber for them if Spelly recognises this and calls for the Uber in here.
Yeah, they've got the point half capped and it's 1 minute 30 left on the clock. The Uber comes out from Enir, Enir blasted miles back by V-Clocks. Garderfung gets taken out.
And Peace has actually remained safe during all of this. Big diver bomb, as well as I think Zavabano is typing an ambassador headshot there as well. Some great combinations between the two, and wow, I didn't expect SDCK to get that in that fashion. But I suppose that's karma, because that didn't really seem like the best of plays for Budget Toucan's medic being that far forward. It seemed incredibly risky.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I can imagine they were doing was trying to dry push the point and force that Uber out of them and then retreat, which is incredibly risky, you're right. Especially when there's this flank domination occurring from Dima, from Super Thickmans. Anyway, Budget Toucan's pushing up to the point now. It's a dry push from them. Shaggy being the most aggressive player.
Spelly eating a lot of damage there, having to back up a little bit as we see Burn peeking on the right side of the point here. Shaggy still trying to spam him backwards as Maccy plays around the obelisk here. Scout finds his way onto Peace though and gets him very low. He does end up dying.
Only 10 seconds left on the clock now for Budget Toucans to get on this point. They've got a slight player advantage and they're doing decent damage, but they really need to just start putting cap time on this. They need to commit and run over it. Shaggy pushes over now. The Uber comes out from Budget Toucan. The transport comes out from Super Thickmans as they push back onto the point. Diamond goes in for a bomb. It's like Super Thickman is just standing on this point with their Uber.
Fortunate for Debato there, it looked like he was maybe about to get a drop on any air, but of course the Uber did come in here. We're going to see Diamond from behind trying to clean up on these frags, and Morty doing a lot of work there, cleaning up on Maccy as well, as Clark's mini sentry takes care of Peace as well, and that's going to be the round for SDCK.
It seems like Budget Toucans are really getting rustled, and it's not helping that they only seem to have this one push onto the point, which is from the bottom left, with Shaggy pushing over the left-hand side of the map, the other side of the map from Pool Room. It seems like they seem to do this one trick every time, and right now it's not paying off for them enough. They need to switch things up, it seems. Yeah,
Pool Room hasn't been a huge factor in these pushes, but it might be different now as Shaggy has actually made his rollout to Pool Room. Luckily didn't get sniped there. Oh, spoke too soon.
But he
did end up getting the snipe on the Shaggy. Saw that sight line there through the pool, and that's a big pick for SDCK on this mid fight.
Yeah, Budget Toucan's getting cleaned up now. 4 players down as Jelly just goes down as well. Super Thickman is all over this point.
I mean, Macky's playing on his own bats right now. Like, if that's not scared, I don't know what is.
Yeah, Budget Toucan's not really contesting this point at all, and Shaggy gets taken out again by Burn.
Oh, Burn just has free reign here. He's got all the space in the world.
A 5 kill streak from the first 30 seconds or so of this fight.
I mean, Burn, you know, he's never really been a super standout sniper. I don't think he's really ever been considered one of the massive standouts compared to other sniping talents such as Cloudy and likes, but Burn is incredibly solid. You give him a sight line and he's going to no doubt get a bunch of picks, I think.
Yeah, I think it didn't help Burn in when he played Prem in Season 7 and the team came last in Prem, definitely being overshadowed, but in Highs he definitely seems to be like in, you know, sort of a league of his own.
Toucan's working his way forward here, as all the Mamino is getting the pick on a Maccy there. Peace tried to save him with the Uber, but he does end up dropping here, and they're down a heavy in this exchange, and that's not a good Uber for the Toucans at all, as SDCK are going to counter Uber here. No real picks coming in here, but that's an exchange that was no doubt in SDCK's favour.
Yeah, it's all going wrong for the Toucans, it seems. Chef is behind the point aggressive along with Silver Toaster, but there's nowhere... the Budget Toucans combo is late pushing up behind.
It's a drive push down from really give it down, though. As they seem to be pushing it again here, as you said. And,
Diamond goes on for bomb.
Diamond going on the bomb, yeah, all the
denied this time. Yeah. But again, Budget Toucans pushing up the same stairs. You know, they're making it really easy for Burn to just keep chipping away at them.
Burn gets another pick on the Jelly there. Right, Burn is just absolutely doing whatever he pleases. He's staying pretty close to his combo here. My word, there's a big bomb coming in there. Oh, Chef dying just barely to Clark's shotgun. Clean up there, Spelly. Cleaning up V-Clocks as well. They seem to have a SDCK seem to have a very solid spamming ground here. Ground here, though.
The Uber gets forced out Budget Toucans, whilst essentially Shaggy and Peace are the only players alive, unable to force Super Thickman's Uber at all, and they're now having to back out through main with 1 minute left on the clock and full Uber disadvantage. This is really bad for the Toucans, which could possibly be the final round of this map.
It just seemed
but the Uber gets popped from in here. It seems they wanted to pop the Uber as a free Uber. Now they're pushing beyond the Toucans' bats.
Seems they wanted to be able to pop that Uber just for chasing, I guess, but maybe a sign of confidence from SDCK there. They don't really seem to, I don't know, take this threat seriously, maybe. Who knows? As we're going to see some of Budget Toucans trying to work their way in a pool here. This is maybe what they should be trying to do, because, as I said, pool has been pretty a non-factor here. Jelly trying to find the opening here on his own bats as they're walking onto the point from the same staircase.
Spelly gets taken down.
Looks like Toucans might actually take this point here, as a couple picks are going in the favour of Toucans, but the main combo is actually down right now.
And Peace was left alone, completely abandoned by the rest of his combo. He gets taken down by Super Thickman Scout May.
As Anir is completely safe here with this huge 83% Uber advantage. And with 10 seconds left and an Uber coming in, this is SDCK's round.
Yeah, definitely. There's a large amount of overtime, but it's highly unlikely the Budget Toucans are going to win this.
And
the
popped.
Uber's popped. In comes Shaggy, bombing over the bats.
Actually doing a decent job at clearing out a lot of space, but he gets taken out from the focus fire from Garden and Spelly. D-Clock's walking forward, trying to do what he can, but that's 3-1, the SDCK.
And that's it, yep. Map goes in SDCK's favour. Toucans, come on. These are my guys, I can't believe it.
And that's King of the Hill Lakeside over. Our next map's going to be CP Process. We're going to see if the Toucans can bring it back there and make use of the more linear fashion of that map compared to this map. I think perhaps that, I don't know, Toucans seem to be maybe a bit overwhelmed by the amount of options that they had on this map maybe, and they seem to just favour pushing these bottom left stairs by the obelisk a lot of the time, and I don't know, they just seem to walk into Spelly spamming ground, it seemed. I would like to see Spelly's damage from this match. I would like to think he got a lot just taking heals from behind that obelisk and spamming over that staircase over and over.
Exactly. I mean, on Lakeside, you have to rotate purely for the sake of rotating fairly often, just because it's such a demo and sniper-centric map, and the best way to negate those classes is just by constantly rotating so they can't second-guess where you're going to be. And they just weren't doing that at all. It was just the same linear push every single time. And then, along with the sort of disjointed aggression out of their combo and their flank, it just seemed like Super Dickmans really were playing as a team much more. I think we're moving on to a new server for this second map. Yeah, the players leave this server.
Looking at these logs here, we see Spelly topping the damage with 10,600. Shaggy only like 100 behind though. That's like a 4 damage per minute difference. Both demos obviously very close with each other in that regard, but SDCK no doubt having the advantage there because Shaggy's KD was nowhere near as good as Spelly's, it seems. With Burn, of course, leading up that scoreboard with 31 frags to 13 deaths. My word, Burn had a field day.
Yeah, it really was a Super Dickman show on this map. Budget Toucans didn't start very well. They clawed that round back, but after that pause, it just seemed everything seemed to fall apart, and they never really got back into the game. And also, neither side really defending the point for very long at all. Super Dickman's doing a slightly better job, but it really was a game where the point was exchanged many times. We're just waiting for John now to sort out relays for this new server, and then we'll be moving on to CP Process. I mean, who would you favour, perhaps? How do you think things could be different on CP Process, Carl?
I think on Process, no doubt you've of course got a deal on there with huge sniper sightlines, same as this map. You know, both maps very strong for their sightlines, but I think it's just going to be a question of how well the combos are going to be able to control their chokes, and maybe we'll see how better Toucans can be able to fare in a more limited scenario, because you know it's hard to really change up how you're going to hold a choke or not in a map like Process. So perhaps they'll have a more tighter game with more of a focus on a tighter combo playing together in a map like Process, or perhaps SDCK will just display their experience again, because those guys have been playing together for so long, they know how they're playing with each other. So it could be either teams, but based on the map that we just played, I would say SDCK have the advantage going into it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them having the advantage as well. The only thing that might fix things up for the Budget Toucans is the fact that that slower tempo might suit them slightly better, and the fact that it's not relying so much on like high aggression, high tempo, and 9 players being aggressive at once might help them slightly more as well, because there's more individual fights going on Process, isn't there, as the fact that it's a larger map and there's more chokes. So perhaps they'll be favoured sort of in the DM area. Who do you think were the standout players then for each team going on the previous map then, Carl?
I think Shaggy was doing no doubt everything that he could for the Toucans, but unfortunately it just didn't seem like their pushes were really really making that much ground, because they kept on walking into a lot of sidelines. Burn, I think, has to be the top mention, because the space that he was being provided just enabled him to get pick after pick after pick. Like he was doing a lot of good work.
And Diva too, I suppose.
Diva was having some fantastic bombs.
Yeah, he was seemed like a really intelligent player.
I was surprised with his communication, I think, with the man with no ears, their spy. Both of them were able to actually get quite a lot of work done together, I think. There were times where he would bomb in and he would be able to clean up damage instantly because the man with no ears hit an ambassador headshot.
I think Super Dickman's combo definitely outclassed Budget Toucans with Peace dying twice as much as an air, and looking at the KDs and the KDs of the combos of each team, Super Dickmans really did have like the more solid combo, and it seemed like a lot of the time that Budget Toucans pushes and defenses would get broken down a lot by dropping a combo class like the Heavy or the Demo, and things would instantly fall apart from there as Diva or May abused the fact that Budget Toucans were missing that Heavy or the Demo. Hopefully we'll be signing soon. We've got just waiting for 2 more players from the Budget Toucans to join the server.
I think Tomato has to be given props as well because I think he definitely did his best at keeping Burn down. See him topping the sniper frags with 7 on the logs. So no doubt he was keeping Burn out of action as much as he could, but it didn't seem to be enough for for them to really break forward because Burn was like taking out their Heavy almost every push that Toucans was trying.
Yeah, that's right, and Burn was getting loads of kills on every mid-fight as well, it seemed. It seemed he was always on a really high kill streak after every single mid-fight. And that round that Budget Toucans won, it really was Tomato doing a lot of work between these pushes, taking care of Burn, killing Spelly a few times as well. Anyway, got 9 players on each team on the server.
Yep.
Let's get this show on the road.
So you got any predictions for this upcoming match? Do you think there's...
I mean, I reckon it'll be perhaps 2-1. Well, I've got to back my Budget Toucans, so I'm going to say 2-1 to the Budget Toucans. And I reckon it's going to be quite a slow-paced game with neither team really wanting to make mistakes to let the other team capitalise on. What were you thinking then?
I'm thinking Shaggy's going to have a hell of a game. I'm thinking Shaggy's going to... If the Toucans are destined to make a comeback, I think Shaggy's going to lead them. And he'll display this by having superior rollouts and getting an early dominance on the red.
Let's watch Shaggy on this very first mid-fight. As them has come through the chokes now.
Shaggy actually rolling out through sewers. Going to be slower here as Spelly actually went through chokes. So Spelly quicker on this mid. Both of them exchanging spam here. Nothing really seems to be happening yet so far as Jelly gets the opening pick on a May.
Yeah, Super Dickmans, they seem to be very slow at rotating to the other side of the map. It's like they weren't exactly sure what side of the map they wanted to split to.
The man with no ears getting the pick on Peace and V-Clocks. That's 2 big members of the combo down right now.
Chef goes in for the bomb onto Anir, but gets taken out. Yeah, only 4 players up for Budget Toucans now as Spelly gets taken out though. But there's no way they're coming back from this.
There's not much to say on that mid. That's just really bad mistake. That looked to be going in Toucan's favour as well, but the man with no ears was able to get behind silently and get that free pick.
Yeah, I agree. He really caught them out going for those picks super early on that mid fight. They weren't suspecting that, it seemed. Budget Toucans all respawn to defend their second point, but they've got full Uber disadvantage. The Uber gets popped now from Super Dickman, so they walk out of PC and into the lobby. Budget Toucans seems like they're getting chased back into their last.
Perhaps a little bit eager there from SDCK and Morty there, trying to get forward now as that Uber is actually not going to help them a lot as...
No, they're not getting cap time, are they?
Well, they are now, and it looks like Toucans are backing up to last now. They're going to have this hold, but it's a solid hold now because they didn't really walk forward to lose any players there.
Burn though, taken out by Tomato. Smart pick, gets gunned down. That should hopefully slow down their push. Budget Toucans have the full Uber advantage now. They're on 90% as opposed to Super Dickman 60.
They have the advantage, but it's going to be a question of whether they want to try and push out here.
As Bakaito gets taken out by Morty.
Pushing out this last notoriously hard, as the second point is, very hard point to push onto with its high ground and multiple avenues of trying to get out. As Uber is ready on both sides, as SDCK are working their way into the side lobby here.
Yeah, I agree. Pushing out this last point, it's definitely a case of defending a push and then counter-attacking straight away as soon as the offensive team starts dropping players. You really have to be quick with the mark, pushing out of this last.
Jeff is very close to this door here. If they choose to Uber, they'll walk straight into his face here. They seem to just be holding in this lobby here.
Oh,
Shaggy walking forward.
and here gets forced by Shaggy. And here quite in a very strange position, holding flat against that wall. But Shaggy abusing that line of sight as the Uber gets soloed onto him.
That's not a bad Uber for the Toucans, though. Shaggy saw the opportunity to go in there, and he actually managed to get quite a lot of damage out, but SDCK are going to back out and heal up, and nothing's really going to come of it. SDCK seem to not really want to make a decision here. They seem to just be walking in there, holding, and hoping that their pick class is going to make an entrance for them, as the man with no ears walks forward and maybe makes that entry there and gets the pick, backstab on the piece there. That might be as much of an opening as you're ever going to want here.
Yeah, that's all they really want to do.
Walking forward.
I mean, they drop Spelly, but they're still getting aggressive, with the heavy getting aggressive from the lobby, and they've got Dima and Rollout. Budget Toucans, they've dropped 3 players as opposed to Super Dickman's 2. Respawners are going to start coming up for Budget Toucans. It seems that Super Dickmans didn't really commit off push. They didn't get their combo involved. But they've almost got Uber now.
I think it's a smart decision for them to not commit to that push there, because they did lose their demo and they were about to get Uber soon as well. And Demeo hasn't been heard with the declo. Oh, but Garden Fungus does walk back and takes care of him as the Uber comes in from the side here. Peace is still alive. Not a lot of frags coming in, but Chef does go down, and that's just going to be point playing right there. And that's the round for SDCK.
Yeah, the Budget Toucans combo completely unable to kite that Uber. All get taken out before the Uber's faded.
I think that was smart play from any of there to not commit to that push there, because they possibly could have, and they maybe could have made it work, but they were so close to getting Uber. I think it was a smart decision from them to not go in there and then just clean up with the Uber after, because that was a good 50% advantage they had.
Yeah, I agree, yep. Anyway, Spelly, again, more aggressive on mid, with Shaggy opting to roll out through the sewer.
Just sticking up PC here, we're going to see they're not going to fall victim to this spy play again this time, as VClox does catch him out.
Not before getting taken out though. Yeah.
Maccy taking this high ground up here. I've been seeing a lot of heavies doing this recently in Premiership games. I like this top force from them, but Burn and Morty do end up taking out Maccy as Chef jumps forward to try and get the bomb on them, but Annie ends up retreating in the sewers.
They've worked the space really well, haven't they?
Man, VClox walking forward, cleaning up Spelly there, and it looks like Toucans is going to take this mid.
Yeah, that was a really solid mid from Toucans. They really worked that space with players rotating to take the aggression. As Uber comes out from an ear, he gets forced, but he's running away post-popping Uber with just Morty. They're running back into their lobby. Toucans now flooding through the choke. Full Uber advantage to push last with.
That was a good play from Tosspot and Shaggy there. They walked forward and they got that force there. That's a huge Uber advantage for them as they're going into last here. Just sees a man with no ears creeping up on this med. He's completely caught out on his own here. His man with no ears might be able to force him here, but no, Tosspot walks forward and saves Peace from forcing or dropping a most heinous step there, which would have no doubt ended him getting blasted to hell in the mumble.
Yeah, props to Peace for not completely choking it. They must have been panicking so much. Anyway, Budget Toucans trying to take this lobby before popping their Uber. Again, nice aggression from them.
They need to hurry up here.
The Uber gets popped. Still coming through one choke. They get denied slightly by the pyre, but they're flooding through now. Can they get the space needed?
And he is creeping up on Uber
getting onto the point straight away.
I like this play from Maccy.
Nice.
Forward and getting rid of him. There's a lot of pressure that they're getting on the point there. They've got to make a cluster for this point. Look at them all on there. And he was actually, Enya was so close to getting Uber there as well.
But yeah, wow, nice push from Budget Toucans. That's really nice.
They were really running the clock there. They were so close to losing that advantage that they worked so hard for in that mid. But that's got to be a good moral boost for the Toucans because they must have known that they could have won that first mid, but a mistake of letting the spy get one of them, no doubt, probably put a bit of doubt in their minds. But that mid there, as well as the follow-up, just led to a very clean round from them, and they got to be feeling better going into this mid now.
Yeah, let's see if this is the turning point of the match with Budget Toucans coming back from this. Spelly getting knocked back, taking a lot of damage and ending up very passive. I mean, VClox the spy, no, VClox and Chef taken out.
SDCK incredibly aggressive here. Marty's walking forward, Morty working forward very far here. Maccy ends up going down as well. Fungus doing a lot of damage in his own right as well. Cleaning up. My goodness, SDCK with that raw aggression. They seem to just work off of Zamamano's distraction. They seem to be a bit distracted by him on these mids. And just walking forward and taking that space. That's exactly what I was talking about on Lakeside. SDCK no free space when they see it, and Chef coming up from down here trying to get a free pick on him.
Oh, and he
gets
does
the
it!
board.
Wow. There's a smart bomb from Enya catching Morty out, not being spun up. But the Uber, I mean, they're still using it into last. They're going for it. Spelly gets taken out now. Super Dickman still staying aggressive.
Key from Toucans is to not lose any picks here. Shaggy incredibly low here, but it looks like they're going to stabilize, and yeah, it looks like Toucans are going to be able to hold this.
I mean, they're peeking now out the lobby. They're getting very aggressive. Shaggy on 12 health, but May gets taken out.
They cannot lose anyone from the combo here if they want any hopes of pushing out here. But Burn has a big sight line here.
And also the soldiers in a position to spam as well. They're definitely going to get slowed down here. At some point, they've got to give up.
Tomato got the pick on the Burn. That's exactly what Peace wants to see to try and work his way out here. And they're fighting their way for second, and SDCK aren't gonna risk that, and they're gonna back out the mid as well. Looks like it's just gonna be Uber v Uber. 20% advantage for the Toucans, but do they know that?
Yeah, Toucans pushing out that lobby and rotating, pushing out the lower lobby as opposed to the upper lobby. Caught them out of guard, and they got a few picks and managed to get out onto second. Shaggy gets taken out though. The Uber gets popped, but Budget have dropped a lot of players. The counter Uber comes out from Super Dickmans, mostly popping on the heavy it seems.
Yeah, Peace unfortunately dropped his scout and his demo there. Demo getting backstabbed.
Here comes the Super Dickman's aggression. Yeah, already spamming into last, getting some damage out onto the combo.
Oh, look at Morty peeking roll out there. Free pick on the Maccy. And they're going to just funnel in here through rollout. Dima is in. Svelly's following up as well. Big pipe on a toss pot. Oh my goodness, SDCK are just rolling in here. A lot of good frags coming in from them as Tomato cleans up on Morty. And Cherno's trying his best here, eating a lot of the heals of the point, but SDCK are just working their way in.
They're not capping this point though, are they? No one's committing to this point. And Budget 2 can seem to be getting respawners as Anir gets taken out by Jelly.
Wow. That is a... it's still possible for SDCK to clean this up here.
Spelly's above the combo.
Oh my goodness, Spelly
panned the
bottle flag. And Spelly ends up capping that for themselves. My goodness, you know, from my perspective, it looked like SDCK were actually making quite a big mistake there. They seemed pretty distracted by Tomato. And they weren't really getting any cap time, but Spelly just went for the biggest, dickest play up at the back of Panic Room and just cleaning up from behind there. That seems to be pretty rude, I think, just walking down from behind.
No one suspected him, definitely, did they? That was all Spelly, that recovering that last push then.
Definitely possible for Toucans to bring that back. Yeah, Spelly clean that up there, as it looks to be another mid here. Are they going to work off of the spy distraction again?
Because that Budget 2 trying to control this high ground, but Super Team is doing a good job of pressuring their left-hand side, getting quite a lot of space.
The space is definitely in SDCK's favour right now, and they're making that burn with the sight line on the far right side. They're not being contested in the slightest, and Toucans are going to have to stay out here as Morty just cleans up on this big high ground. The problem is Toucans are coming to mid and they're just staying in their corner. They're not really making any progress either side.
Yeah, I agree. Super Dickmans, they know how to death ball. They know how to, you know, they're all getting all of their players into a big cluster and they're focusing one guy. And it seems as soon as Budget Toucans drop one player from their combo, they just seem to get crippled and everything falls apart.
Oh, Tomato!
Oh, but Tomato takes down Anir.
Big peek there in the PC. They were aware of him being there, but he managed to find the angle after deadering away and coming back. Unfortunately, a slip up there. That's going to be pretty good for you know, the Toucans trying to hold this last year as they're peeking their way into lobby. Looks like they want to go out here, but they will have to cross into the burn sight line. Ooh, that was incredibly risky from Peace there, walking through that sight line first, but they do end up Ubering. And SDCK will probably have to back out here as Shaggy jumps forward into the choke and ends up getting the pills on the Morty as well. My goodness.
I mean, this is what I mean though by Budget Toucans not getting aggressive together. Chef jumping the point alone, and then Shaggy jumping the choke alone. All right, they get some work done, but it's not coordinated at all, and they're paying their price now.
You see Burn pretty out of position there as Tomato just walks forward and picks him up. SDCK want to come back in here, and Spelly is just securing this ground for them, and Toucans will have to back off. Once again, Pete's getting absolutely blindsided by Zaman with no ears. Got into a pretty heated 1v1 with him in PC. They managed to get away and even get an Uber saw. So, you know, it looks to be almost even Ubers. Budget Toucans with about a 10%, 20% advantage. But they're probably not going to try and risk pushing out this last on that alone, as this could be disastrous either side.
No, 80 minutes left on the map. They've got plenty of time to turn this around. It's time to be patient and just let things unfold. I'm noticing Jelly really isn't having a great game so far. Only 9 points, bottom of the scoreboard. That seems very unlike him. He's normally a crucial player for the Budget Toucans.
No, not going great for them so far. It probably has something to do with the amount of space that I think SDCK are controlling in this game here. As Zamamano is actually challenging Jelly on the side here.
Shaggy taking out Burn with a sticky trap from one. Smart play. I mean, Super Dickmans have lost 3 players, and Budget Toucans are getting slightly more aggressive now, trying to contest this lobby that the Super Dickmans have taken.
No,
but they're
Shaggy
getting
sees an
aggressive.
entrance here. He's going to want to take an Uber, and of course that's what he's going to do here. That's a pretty good Uber for the Toucans going forward here. There's not really going to be a lot coming in from SDCK with that Uber, but what they can hope for is that they try and follow through. As Peace incredibly low there, almost dying of burn damage. My goodness, he is weak, but he gets a sandwich and he does end up living as Spelly just funneling spam through that choke there.
Yeah, and Maccy getting taken down, which is unfortunate, but this is where things seem to fall apart for the Toucans. They lose one combo glass, and then Super Dinkmans just get aggressive together.
Oh, Tosspot with an incredibly aggressive flank there onto May, getting the pick on him as well and connecting up with heals. It looks like the flank's going to try and walk forward here, Budget Toucans, and with Shaggy following up through PC, incredibly low, and he ends up dying to Clark and Garden Fungus there as well. Shaggy going down here is incredibly risky, and it looks like V-Clogs wants to try and push forward into PC, but they did that at risk SDCK pushing into them. Speaking of SDCK, they're going to walk forward in a choke here. Maybe we're doubling back into PC now. That's going to be almost equal Ubers for them.
SDCK really favour this push from PC, and it doesn't look like many people at all from Budget Toucans are watching it. Realise they're there now though. They're not forcing them through that choke, which is really unfortunate. They might do though with Shaggy standing around the corner.
Shaggy has a strong spot here. If he wants to take an engagement here, you know
Yeah,
he's
he's
going
doing a lot of damage there, isn't he? He's just really abusing that sight line in that corner.
Burn's not
Dinkman's
contested in
now
choke
stalemated.
here. Look at this space that Burn has. Tosspot needs to recognise this and get on him, but Clark has walked forward and denied Burn from being walked onto, as SDCK are going to give up this PC push for now and back up. You know, they don't have to do anything here. It's 2-1 in their favour. Toucans are going to make the move here.
Yeah, Toucans are opting to hold back, very passive. I don't think they've realised yet that Super Dinkmans have rotated. Super Dinkman's now getting aggressive from the choke, it seems, and they've also taken the sewer. I mean,
Yeah,
they had a pretty
Shaggy's
decent opening with their flank walking in from the choke when they were standing in PC. Might have been worth exchanging, I think.
Absolutely. As we're going to see, the Toucans just holding this PC area here, as we're going to see SDCK just trying to edge forward back in the choke here. They don't seem really wanting to commit to anything here. They're just sort of trading spam, seeing what can go in. Let their pick classes go to work. Play the waiting game. That seems to be the right move for SDCK right now.
Yeah, both teams trading players to the opposing team sniper just now. They're really slowing it down. It doesn't seem Budget Toucans have much of a plan for getting aggressive. They're not opting to hold close to these chokes or outspam at all.
Burn's
So waiting
trying
for
to
the
edge
pick
his
on the
way
sniper.
forward in a PC here. Trying to see if he can edge his way forward, but it doesn't look like any picks are presenting themselves. I mean, even the pick classes like Debedo are playing so passive
watching
in their
him
own
standing
choke.
there in the corner waiting for that push to come out. That was really
Mammodo
surprising to
is
see.
managed to hit a headshot there. Nothing really is going to come of it though, as Burn managed
Oh, here
to
comes
take
the
out
Uber
the
though.
scout.
It's
Exchange coming
another
in.
solo on Shaggy. Again, for one of these Ubers, the Super Dinkman's Pyro is nowhere to be seen and the other team gets forced, but they're soloing well. They're walking through the choke now.
Oh, Spelly completely caught out here. Sticky's coming in from the side. They're actually going to commit here. I like SDCK's decision to commit to back up Spelly there, because Spelly that far in, it's hard for him to back out.
Oh,
Burn!
Shaggy's taken down by a headshot from Burn.
Burn with a huge sightline there, with a big amount of space taken out there. Did you see that shot? That was actually
That was
quite
unbelievable.
a crack. And Spelly has got to be feeling it there. Maccy hasn't been noticed though, but he ends up getting taken out thanks to the people funneling in through lobby. And
It's going to
wow,
be around.
SDCK there. My goodness, the aggression coming in from them there. And that was actually Toucan's decision to take that exchange there in the choke.
Yeah, they exchanged the Ubers, but when they fell back, they seemed to corner themselves. They ran back all to the top of their PC or their lobby, and they just seemed to let Super Dinkmans really walk in and get that space.
That's just another case of free ground that SDCK walk forward and just take. Like, Spelly is just walking forward and saying, hey, you're not going to hold this spot, I'm going to take it. And that just enabled Burn to have that massive sight line with them to get rid of their heals, and everything just fell apart for him.
Yeah, just over 10 minutes left on the clock now. It's 3-1 in favour of Super Dinkmans.
It is still possible for Toucan to take this back, I think, but they've got to start spreading out on these mids, I think, and start taking the initiative, because Spelly's just going to find space like he's finding on the right here and just have his players like Morty and himself just walk forward. And it looks like Toucans might actually want to take the initiative here on their right side here, trying to walk forward, but there's still...
It's Super
staying on the
Dinkmans who are getting aggressive now, isn't it?
Jelly has been able
They're
to get the
making
pick on a
everything
Burn as we saw the jump forward.
Oh, but
there.
Tomato takes down an ear, the Super Dinkmans medic, and the Uber comes out from Budget Toucan.
Oh, a toss spot cleaning up there on the huge damage, and actually an Uber coming in as well. That seemed not necessary from Dimer, but that's going to be around for Toucan.
They seemed to pop as soon as their near died, didn't they? I suppose believing that they'd have Uber again by the time they're ready to push last regardless. So they walk through into the choke into second point now. Burn taken out by Tomato. Tomato 1 point ahead of his team, getting those required picks.
Very aggressive from him walking forward. That might be enough to try and spur the push from Toucans to try and come this last.
Oh,
And they lose
Spelly
Spelly
gets
as
taken
well.
out too by Maccy.
If I were Toucans, I would try and push off this. This is probably the only entrance they're going to try and get in here because actually no, they have a 50% Uber advantage.
Ziman is behind Peace. He headshots him, takes him down to just under 50 HP, but Peace recovers and Ziman gets caught out.
Toucans are working their way in the lobby here. This is going to be the first first prepared last push that they've had since that Toucans are going to try. Yeah, after the lightning round where they got that round back.
They had a solid push last time.
The flank is trying to edge their way upwards here from SDCK, trying to bully their way in the lobby. If they can play the bully game for another like 10-15 seconds, they're going to have a counter Uber to respond with.
Yeah, Budget Toucans is being very slow now. They just seem to be happy to let Jilly sit in the lobby and try and get some picks with him.
Oh, May was in there. He tried to get the force with the pick on a
look at the aggression from Spelly.
Oh, they're in here. They want to try and take an exchange into this lobby, and that's exactly what's going to happen as Spelly...
it's a solo from the Toucans. Their Uber's better. They seem to have realised
end up losing Burn.
The rest of their combos completely backed out this Uber fight, though.
If V-Clocks can take the heels here and actually walk forward, but he ends up getting the pill. Oh my goodness, Fungus with the support as well with Morty getting rid of V-Clocks. Actually had a pretty nice opening there. As we're going to see May walking in here from lower and actually gets the pick on a piece there, hitting the shots. As Jelly following up with the sick headshot on May.
Yeah, Super Dickman's really just abusing these open doorways that aren't being watched by Budget Toucans. It seemed post-Uber, the shape of their team was really bad and they were just allowing these flank classes to walk in. As Super Dickman's push out into second point now.
Lucan's actually incredibly weak here. Moy can get a lot of cleanup here if he commits to this push. We're going to see Maccy down with the lower left. He hasn't been noticed yet. Finally, Garden does notice him, but Maccy getting the frag on him.
Couple of free kills from Mackerel there, yeah.
Ellie still has his open sight line here. He's trying to maintain this ground, but he's going to get bullied back into the choke here as he's just eating heals from his medic. Spelly walking forward to try and deny this ground, but he could be picked up from Jelly if he's not careful.
I mean, this is bad enough for Budget Toucans. They're standing in this choke with full Uber disadvantage. Oh, they're backing off now after
they
using the players.
Tomato
Shaggy on the medic. He gets caught out, but he takes out Spelly, pistols it down with the Literanger.
Both demos down on both sides here. Gonna see from SDCK how they're gonna try and bully their way through here. Or maybe not, but that's 10 minutes left on the clock now. Is it gonna be enough for Toucans to try and pull this back in 10 minutes?
They're going to have to start getting very aggressive, aren't they? And really making the most of their Ubers. Right now, it seems whenever they've got aggressive, things have gone against them.
Got a big PC pile up here, as we see Clark actually on level 3 sentry still, probably from his last hold. Pushing that through in a PC. If he can get that level 3 up at the end of this mid here, that's going to be mid secured for them. As the Uber exchange did come in here, and as the counter Uber does get popped in, Garden disconnecting Peace expertly in the sewers. That's almost no Uber for Shaggy there, as he did get almost entirely disconnected, and the sentry is going to clean up Shaggy.
Wow, yeah. Unbelievable. That was really unfortunate for Budget Toucans. I know they had the player advantage, but they're so scared at level 3 sentry, they're just going to linger in the choke.
They're
coming in now. Yeah, the sentry gets taken out nicely by Tomato.
I like Toucan's decision to try and take another exchange here. V-Clocks is capable of dealing with this if he doesn't take too much damage.
Yeah, they've put the forward respawns, haven't they? Which is really going in their favour right now, meaning that they can walk straight in.
But doesn't look so hot for them right now. They're going to need to take the ground as Diamond is in here trying to get the... He got a bit of damage on the piece as May has found the opening, but he's not committed yet. Taking that high ground as V-Clocks is caught out on the right, but he does manage to back up and commit with his team as Diamond has walked forward and secured this choke. Wow, SDCK were able to hold that.
Yeah, that's done by SDCK. Oh, their name is a tongue twister. It's destroying me.
As Burn gets the pick on the Jelly there and choke Jelly, perhaps a bit overextended there, not with his team really at all. As we're going to see a man with no ears working his way behind in the lobby. He could look for an opening pick here. He's actually on the combo. They haven't noticed him. Oh, Peace has noticed him though at long last. Oh, he's quite weak. He's so weak. Oh, but Peace does not force. Balls are still by that man as he does end up getting forced by Dimer's rocket from sewers.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Duckman's flank have taken sewers and they've walked in thanks to this distraction to Ziman. And now they've got all this space. It looks like they're going to start pushing with their combo too and taking this point. Oh, Chef comes in with a bomb though. Lands on the point. Trying to hold it down, but gets taken out. Peace gets taken out too. Gets killed by Dima.
Looks like the combined effort of the flank walking forward here, as well as the spam coming in from Spelly when he committed to that. And Tomato getting the pick on a Clark at his level 3 sentry. Not allowing that to have any precedence. But Toucans are a lot down here. SDCK might want to commit to this.
Yeah, I mean, they're opting not to. The first player forward is Burn the Sniper. Well, he's getting punished now. He's running back into the choke, and it seems things are going to reset. Super Dickman is with a large advantage, 90% now.
Chef here taking a spam exchange with
Oh,
Diamond
Shaggy
in front.
goes down to Burn. Burn on
Ooh.
a 5-kill streak.
That's a big pick, right?
Yeah, Burn's got a really aggressive sightline here on the far side of lobby.
And the Uber comes in from rollout. Uber coming in there, mostly being stuck on the Morty as V-Clocks and Peace end up going down. Burn has the space here, getting rid of any and Jelly. That's two huge picks.
From Super Dickmans, yeah.
Diamond's just eating these hills on the point here, and May is walking forward to get this cap time.
It's 4-1.
That is 4-1. My goodness, that is 6 minutes and 35 seconds left. It doesn't look good for Toucans.
That was great from Super Dickmans. They Ubered from one side of the map, and then as Budget Toucans kited their Uber to the other side, they walked straight into Burn's sightline all the way down from lobby into last, and he got at least 2 kills there. It's really nicely done. So Budget Toucans must be thinking now, surely not going to take this. This is the mid where they have to start getting some lightning rounds and getting aggressive very early. As Chef goes in for an early bomb with a Beggar's Bazooka.
Oh, he's in, but he doesn't unfortunately get anything with a bomb there. Peace is incredibly aggressive on the point here. As the man just walks in and just shanks him.
I mean, a lot of kills from both teams though. Maccy standing on the point, seems to be dominating the space right now.
I'm surprised that Toucans were able to win that mid with them just getting rid of their soldiers so quickly with that Shades of Hearts Beggar's bomb on that mid there, but
yeah. I suppose they're doing, like, taking something from Dickmans and just using a player to slow down the other team, engage them, and then taking the space for the rest of them. They lose their medic, but Anir smartly backs out.
Oh, Spelly finding Jelly in the choke there. Oh, that was Jelly getting Spelly.
That must be a word to describe this, yeah.
As we're going to see Toucans trying to heal their way through. Maccy getting incredibly low there thanks to a headshot from his man with no ears. He's taking a lot of ambi headshots this game as SDCK are bullying their way into PC right now. A huge 50% advantage from them as
and they're coming behind the combo.
Peacock's throwing his life away there to try and air blast his way back there, but big bombs coming in there from Spelly and Chef. So Spelly, my goodness,
utter annihilation from that Uber there. Ubering all the right players, getting straight onto that combo before they can escape and almost wiping the whole of Budget Toucans team.
Absolutely caught out there as SDCK are walking forward. They're just punishing them left, right and centre. The team with experience there showing that they know when to walk forward, and my word, this is just looking very dominant from them here as they push into this last few rollout.
Yeah, right now this really is the Super Duckman show. Taking the time, walking for a rollout, ending with his crossbow out.
They switched to crits now to try and get something up before the Uber's coming in here, but that's 80% for Enya right now. They're going to have an Uber coming in this last hit. They can take their time as they're trying to focus heals on the left side of the point here. Chef walking forward to try and get a pick at a rollout, and Burn does end up picking up Shaggy just before Chef gets the frag on him. That's got to be all SDCK need to push in here.
Yeah, 8% crits now, but they've got no Shaggy to crits.
Coming in from door one, that's the Uber being popped in here from Morty as he gets rid of V-Clocks around that corner there. Tomato coming in from behind, he gets caught out by Guard and Fungus. Tough spot going down as well there. Jelly getting back on Enya though. They might actually be able to hold this though. The crits is ready.
I suppose they're going to push out. Unless they're just going to go for the noble one.
Diamond's going along last.
Peace drops the crits to Burn.
Burn with another drop to his name, and that's got to be crushing.
Yep, it's utter domination now from Super Dickmans.
Like 3 minutes left on the clock here, 5-1. Diamond claiming that it's not a lobby in chat. It's not a lobby, Asa.
We need that confirmation.
Seeing what will most likely be the last minute of the game here. Yeah, very strong showing from SDCK.
Yeah, the Noble Toucan still walking to mid.
Oh, Burn.
Still getting headshot by Burn.
Burn is just... he's just displaying his dominance here, getting the opening frag on the scout there from Toucans. My goodness. As they try to funnel heals onto the right side
they've
here.
got the quick fix.
Quick
They
fix
pop the
is
quick fix onto Shaggy. He walks into the enemy combo.
Oh,
they
but he gets
can't
decimated.
stay alive.
There's just too much there, too much focus fire on the Shaggy there. As Macky's completely caught off from Peace on the other side of the map.
It's escape from Peace. Is he going to get out? Now we know it is. Gets taken out indeed.
Spelly jumps forward to try and get the feels on him, and he ends up taking out Cherno. Peace
He's coming back for a fight, though.
He's coming back for more. But Clark ain't having none of that with the shotgun DM.
And here takes out Maccy with the Uber sword somewhere.
Uber ended up getting popped by Ania back there on mid. And Shaggy actually hitting a dank pipe there. Silver toss spot cleans him up, but you gotta think perhaps it doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a lobby by this stage. Oh dear.
Burn being absolutely aggressive as he wants to here, trying to weasel his way in through choke here as the quick fix is being stuck on by Peace. As Jelly has a sightline through to PC with Dimer and Clark spamming their way back there. And Burn just getting the pick on Cherno as well. Burn is just doing what he likes.
Yeah. They found it so easy to walk in through this choke, Super Dick Mans, when the Budget Toucans combo has been holding you in the top of that PC. Their shape hasn't been great, and they haven't been rotating to the right places to stop the Super Dick Man's aggression at all.
And Spelly's decided he's had enough. He's in through PC, he's going out through PC, he's leaving through PC. He just did the complete loop-de-loop.
Oh wow, sorry, loop-de-loop. So look at Shaggy and Peace coming in with the quick fix. Jumping by the combo. Peace is on!
Peace gets a frag.
Burn,
That is the frag he's wanted all day. That is the frag he's wanted all day. He's had enough.
Revenge for Peace.
As Peace is just going absolutely hard here with a 1v1 from Clark. He's pissed. He's pissed that Clark got that frag on him from before, but Spelly's not having none of it. The bottle! That's a taunt. and a kill by.
Oh dear.
This is some premier high play right here.
Yeah, 30 seconds left on the clock now.
That's just a good time for us to just wrap this up right now then. Let's talk about what was going on through with Budget Toucans throughout both of these games here right now. What do you think the common theme was for their play between both of these games?
Honestly, I think with Budget Toucans, it's just they're not taking advantage of space that they're gifted, and then they're not deathboarding it at all. They're always playing as, you know, a little cluster of 3 players getting aggressive. There's never any sort of like, you know, large scale coordination. And then when they're defending, they just seem to drop players for their combos so easily. And as soon as they lose a player, they don't back out. They just seem to disintegrate, and often the whole combo gets wiped defending choke points. Really sad. My Toucans, how could this happen?
Yeah, it's got to be a loss that hits you hard at home. But yeah, having played with SDCK in the past before I ended up settling on the team I was now, they are a well-oiled machine. They've played together for a long time. Players like Burn and Garden, they just know each other so well. They hang out with each other a lot. And that's not something you see in a lot of Prem teams these days, you know, just players that want to hang out with each other all the time. You know, that's real Div 6 mentality, you know. Back when you had a Div 6 team, you'd hang with them like all day, and that kind of chemistry actually goes real far, I think, to having a good understanding of how you want to play. Like Spelly and they were just walking forward, taking all the space they wanted in the world, and I really think that spelled a lot for their victory here today.
Yeah, I mean, normally it's Budget Toucans who are playing really well together. I mean, they're the sort of guys who hang out all day together too. You know, matchmaking, watching YouTube and playing Age of Empires, stuff like that. But they seem to have a real community going on. But I don't know, they just weren't with it on these maps today at all. You know, we've been joined by someone in Mumble. Who's this? Hello?
Hello.
Hello,
Joined
it's Clark.
here by Clark, the NG extraordinaire. What a game you guys had. How do you think that game went for you guys?
It went pretty good actually. We didn't think it would be that confident because Budget Toucans is a good team, let's be honest. We're missing our main heavy, who's currently in the hospital. He's a cancer survivor. He was just, his lung was just removed, and we're really...
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we basically did that win for him, so shout out to Sandwich.
Morty did a good job in his stead today. Is he a regular sub for you guys?
Yeah, he's been subbing for us a couple of times since Sandwich was away, so we are really happy that we picked him up as a sub. But I don't know, we'll see. When Sandwich comes back, he's basically gonna be main again, but we
Yeah.
still need someone to sub.
Best of luck to him in his recovery. I want to ask you, how confident were you bringing that level 3 forward on process?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I decided to try if it works, and it did. I got, I think.
It managed to secure you like 3 cleanup frags coming out of that choke on process mid.
Yeah, it did.
On that one time. Then Tomato sorted that, so you couldn't have too much fun. Were there any worries for your team going into this? Any problem players on the enemy team that you were looking out for going in?
Yeah, obviously Shaggy. Shaggy is a good player overall. We knew that Toucans are playing around him, and that he's basically their main force. So we tried to pick him as much as we could, and I think it worked out fine because when we did, it was just falling apart for them. They couldn't do a normal push.
Yeah, I agree. You were really getting those frags. I mean, Burn was having an outstanding game, getting those key picks all the time, especially on process. And then again on Lakeside Midfights, it seemed that it really was his show today.
I think we've got Burn join the mumble now. We'll get word with the man himself in a second, as you say.
I was saying now, Burn can choke sometimes on scrims, but on officials, he's just massively good all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Burn, is it true? Is it true you choke in scrims?
Sometimes.
I said he choked in scrims, but he's good.
Getting thrown under the rug here by your own engineer.
Is this what Coach's been talking to you about?
Yeah,
Come on.
He hasn't stopped talking for 5 minutes about this.
But Burn, man, you had a hell of a game like, across Lakeside and process. You were just racking up frags for your team. How do you think that went for you?
I think it was a really good game. Like, usually I don't get to warm up properly, but this time all went well.
Good. So anyway, we've been joined by Shaggy and Mackerel from the Budget Toucans. Where did it all go wrong, guys? What happened?
Oh, jeez. First of all, I think they just played really aggressively, and their sniper, Barney, he did fucking amazing. We couldn't get any grounds.
Excuse me, what? You can't say that, Shaggy.
Okay, you suck, Barney. There you go. But no, they just played really aggressively, and because of the good sniper, couldn't get any grounds. On Lakeside especially.
It seems like you just sicked Tomato on him. You just had him on him like all the time, and even though Tomato had like all of those frags on Burn on Lakeside as well, it just didn't seem to be enough to break through the big hole that they had going on. I mean, Burn just seemed to have all of the space that he could have ever wanted.
Yeah, we adapted to the situation well. Like, we saw Tomato going for me, so we started playing with Carlotso. It worked out.
How was the game from your experience then, Maccy?
I get headshot every second, didn't I? I don't know, I felt like they were playing as a team more than us, and they were moving together, like taking space, and we couldn't really deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough assessment. That's kind of what we were noticing as well from while we were watching the game, that it really was Super Dickman sort of taking advantage of all these little openings and deathballing through chokes, getting together at the right time, being aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it's unfortunate. My Toucans, you've let me down.
Oh no.
You've let all the people. Is there a bet for this game? You might have let people down who. Well,
yes, it was a bet.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Do you have
Oh
a system?
jeez.
It's 50-50.
Oh lord.
Yeah, 4 people. Because Calto added it like an hour ago or something.
What would you like to say then, Maccy and Shaggy, to these vast amounts of people who bet on you?
I would have bet on the other team.
Oh, Maccy.
You want to apologise?
Let's keep our spirits up.
Macky's always like this. God damn it, Maccy.
Well, a match like today, definitely maybe a little look through the seeing glass for potential future for who might win the end of this season. How confident are you, Clark and Burn, for the rest of the season after the game today?
Like even before the game, we're pretty confident that we're at least top 3, and now we only made sure it is true. So yeah, we're pretty confident.
Wow. So it's Boyo next week. How confident are you guys feeling going into that map, Toucans? Do you feel like you can turn things around on Boyo?
I think that we're a lot stronger on payload than we are on these two maps. There's probably... we're pretty bad at these maps. but I feel like on Payload
Yeah,
we're a
that's
lot
why we
stronger.
lost.
I think on Payload we can probably beat some other teams. Seems that this is like the one team in High that we're kind of worried about.
What about you guys then for Super Dick Mans? You looking forward to Borneo week 3?
I don't know the center spots, but
Oh,
Yeah,
I think it's kind of critical as an engineer.
yeah, I think we should be fine. Just
We
close.
had
Let's
good
figure out the
scrims
spots.
on that map. Like, we just made up the center spots on the fly.
Yeah. It's like,
will
okay,
be
we
well.
need to put the sentry.
Well, I suppose now you've eliminated the Toucans, you've got nothing to worry about for the rest of the season. You can coast, right? Any other teams that you got your eye on?
The TC Express have been doing pretty well. We scrimmed against them
Oh, yeah.
yesterday. They did well.
All right then, Carlotso, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I think that's about it from me.
All right, super. Then let's wrap it up here. You've been watching Budget Toucans versus.
Whoa, shoot out!
God,
Shut
you
up.
Whoa!
Shoutouts, what
I'm
the
so
fuck,
sorry.
guys?
You haven't been watching that because there's shout outs.
I'm so sorry.
Burn, you got any shout outs you like to give out, Burn?
I got a shout out for our main caller Sandwich. Get well soon.
Men calling from hospital down the phone.
Yeah. And shout out to my team and shout out to Guns on Alkalitas, my 6th team.
Alright, Clark, you got any?
Yeah, definitely. My team, Rob for subbing in today, Fungus for coming home and playing without after not playing for a week, and of course Sandwich, get well soon, and we'll hope to see you back home.
What's wrong with Sandwich?
His lung has been removed. His left lung.
Oh,
He
wow.
had a tumor.
Jesus.
That's why you have 2, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
For reserve.
Yeah, there's one extra for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not a kidney assay, you can't do that one.
Oh, my bad.
Maccy, any shout outs?
Moving swiftly on.
Shout out to Tasu and Chef.
Shaggy?
My boy Stretch, Anus Stretcher.
All right, nice one.
Alright.
What about you, Carlotso? Then any shout-outs from you?
Nah, I'm not gonna shout out anyone. No one deserves
Really?
it.
Wow.
No one deserves it.
I'd like to give a shout out to Spirit the Death Scythe. It's his birthday today, and shout out to Porky as well.
Oh shit, I have one more, I just got in. A shout out to Georgia Bai from V-Clocks.
All right, then, nice.
Alrighty.
Would you like to wrap it up then, Carl?
Righto then. You've been watching BlackOut Gaming's Season 10 coverage of ETF2L High. Tune in on Sunday for our next ETF2L game between, I believe it is... what is it? I think it's Nunya? Yes, that.
Nunya Wasp and TC versus the Bureau.
Yes. On some more Highlander process action. It's the best game mode
I
on the
can't
best
wait.
map.
I'm
Yeah,
really
it's amazing.
excited. Okay, say bye, everyone. Bye.
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 Bye.